Let me get the Amazon stream going here. And yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is looking at this mechanical keyboard. And on the surface, it looks kind of like any like run-of-the-mill keyboard you might find on Amazon or some other retailer. But it has a screen, a little tiny screen on it that I thought was interesting. So that's what we're going to be focusing in on today. And bear with me though for a second here, folks, because I am having some issues getting my Amazon thing going here. So I got to check one thing on that, and then we'll get moving here. So Amazon, that's the same stream key. Okay, we're good there. This looks like the Amazon one is just not wanting to start up here. So yeah, so we've got, it'll be fun. It's going to be, you know, nothing exciting, but it will be what it is. So yeah, it'll be cool. So give me a second here because my Amazon stream is not wanting to start. So I'm just going to resend it to them in the hopes that this might coax it to begin streaming. Yeah, so what this is just a keyboard, mechanical keyboard though. And apparently it has, here it goes. Okay, there we go. So it apparently has some silent mechanical switches on it. And you can choose different keycaps if you want, and all that good stuff. So let me say hello to some folks. We have Romeric here, as usual. JJ Mart is here. CM is here. Romeric wants to know, can we play Doom on its screen? I don't know, but maybe you can play Crysis on it. I think it like provides like basic information. So we'll take a look. There's a little software utility that you install with it. Gil Garcia is here. Shane Sturba is here, and Weeb is here. And my only reservation with this screen is that it requires software to run. And I'm just always reluctant to have like extra stuff running in the background on my computer. So I will see what the Mac app entails and whether or not I want to install that or not. In full disclosure, this came in free of charge from the manufacturer for us to look at, but they are not otherwise compensating me. And more than likely, one of you will end up with this keyboard later. Ooh. Oh my gosh, it doesn't make any sound at all. They weren't kidding when they said it was silent. It feels like, I've never used one of these things, but it feels like one of those those machines that the court stenographers use. Like it makes no sound at all. But it doesn't feel cheap either. It's got like a nice, boy, that's weird. So additionally, this is a wireless keyboard. So they've got a dongle that I think lives in here. Yeah, so there's a dongle right here. And my understanding is that the display attaches to here as well. So if you use the display, you got to find a place for your dongle to go. Island Terror is here. I don't know well, it's possible it could play Zork, right? Maybe we'll figure that out. Christoph Howard is here too. Hello there. Yeah, I can't tell you how quiet. Listen to this. Listen, listen. No noise at all. But it feels mechanical. It doesn't feel clicky, but it feels mechanical. So you've got like, look how deep that travel is. So it's nice deep mechanical travel, but no clicky. See if I can pull one of these keys off and have a look. I should get a key puller. I don't know if they have one. Maybe they have one in the box. Let's see. All right. So here's that part. And there is an instruction guide for the smart screen. So there's a time adjustment, a CPU progress display. I'm sure that doesn't mean progress or what they mean by that. It's the language barrier there. You can also have a background image. So I'm guessing it's like a little OLED display or something like that. And then we have, oh, they give you a keyboard. Wow. Well, I guess for the price, they better give you all this stuff. So additionally, you get, I may not give this to one of you. We'll see how it plays out. Look at this key, look at this cable. It's got like a leather, a leatherette wrap. Nice and thick. Look at that metal. I mean, granted, it's all just for show, but it's pretty classy looking. So if you wanted to go direct wired, you can do that. Yeah, keyless keys. And the display is coming out. This is the display. And it's pre-yellowed. That's right. You don't have to retro bright this. Does it match my my yellowed Macs in the background? This might actually, look at that. It's pretty close. This Mac is not all of this Apple IIgs is not all that yellowed comparatively. It's been out of the sun its whole life. But yeah, and this is wireless, so it's got a battery built in, or you can use it. Yeah, the space bar doesn't push down as far as I would like, but the rest of the keys feel pretty good. So here's the display component. Let me give you an overhead. Yeah, I think some of us old-timers, Finn, are going to like this keyboard. It kind of gives them a vibe of the old keyboards he had on his Olivetti. I remember those Olivetti computers. Those were those portable ones, right? Those little portable machines. My English teacher in high school had one, and he brought it in one day for me. He let me try it out for a while. Here, I'm going to peel off the thing here. Ooh, yeah. All right. And then this goes in. Oh, it doesn't go there. I thought it went in here, but it doesn't. It goes, does it? Maybe it does go in there. Can it go over here? Nope. Yeah, it's got to go here. So, yeah, it slides right into that slot there. And we'll see what that display does in a minute. And then if you want to see what one of the keys looks like, they give you a key puller here. Isn't that cool? They kind of give you everything you need here. I'm always uncertain if whether or not one of these things is going to warrant a review. This one might make the cut on getting reviewed, I think. We'll have to see. I've been much more careful with my time lately, so not everything gets reviewed anymore. Let's see if I can pull this out without scratching up the key here. Yeah, it's hard to get under the keys with this thing because the plastic doesn't. Granted, I'm not an expert key puller either. Let me try this one here. Am I doing this wrong? I can't get around the keys to pull one out. There we go. Got underneath it there. Okay, so here's the, I may capture some B-roll here too to show you the switch itself. Now, I don't know if this is backlit though. We'll have to find out when we get it plugged in. And do I have focus? I can't focus any more than that. So here, I'll bring it over to this camera. Sometimes you got to find the right camera for the job here. And I can go in a little bit tighter, I think. There we go. Some nice 4K goodness here. And if you're on Amazon, it's 1080p goodness, but still the same effect. So let me just make a new folder. But that's what the key looks like. So it is, I'm guessing it's mechanical. Looks mechanical. I'll get the name of what they have on this. Oh, I see. Key pullers have one side for the keycap and one for the actual key. So I got it pretty good here, I think. This is the switch puller. Oh, this is the switch puller? I don't know what the heck these things. See, I got to be careful with keyboards because there's like the whole... Keyboards are becoming like building a PC live. It's that there's some real enthusiasts. I'm not even, criticizing that. I think there's just some real enthusiasts now. So this is a Epomaker, I think is what this is called. Epomaker keyboard. And I got a link to Amazon if you want to watch me there. And you can buy it there if you're into it. So I'm just going to set up my B-roll shot here. Look how sharp that looks. Doesn't that look cool? Nice and sharp. Yeah, there we go. All right. And then I will zoom back out here. But yeah, I'm kind of digging the look on it. It's got that retro vibe, which is what we're all about on this channel. So Crab Donkey wants to know what brand of keys. Well, let's look that up and see. I'm just going to put this key back on here. I think this might be like one of the more generic brands, but let me double check on that. So Epomaker RT100. So let's take a look. So they say it's 95% retro mechanical. So 2 of these keys are not mechanical. I'd like to know which ones. Maybe the space bar. The space bar doesn't have a good feel to it. So it doesn't have a lot of travel. Maybe that's what it is. These are called sea salt silent switches. Let me just make sure that's what they gave me here, because they have a couple of different options. And this one is the sea salt silent switch. And I don't know much about key switches, but that's what they've got here. But yeah, it's got a good, I really like the way it feels, honestly. Like, I'm almost half tempted to like replace my keyboard at my desk with this. It just has such a cool feel to it. Because typically you feel that click, it's noisy, but this has the same tactile feel with no, it's very retro. Like, I just remember using a keyboard at some point in my youth that felt like this. So that was interesting. Okay, here's a couple other things on this thing. Bluetooth 5.0 and 2.4 gig. So you can use Bluetooth, or you can attach it with the dongle, or you can plug it in directly. South-facing LEDs, and Windows and Mac OS compatible. And I need to look up these sea salt silent switches. Can you say that 3 times fast? Sea salt silent switch. Sea salt is like one of those tongue twisters. So Epomaker. So I think they actually make this switch. They are factory, here's a website here, factory lubed, it says, 5-pin switches. They're made with an initial force of 35 grams and an end force of 60 grams with a total travel of 2 millimeters. So that's what that is. Maybe we should plug it in and see how it all comes together. So there is an app that I have to download. I'm going to try it on the Mac first and just see how it does. And what I'm going to do is just wire it in direct to my Mac right now. So let's plug it in. And let's see. Now there's a couple of switches up here. So there's a switch for Mac, and there's an on-off switch here as well. And it does have RGB backlighting. So we'll look at that in a minute too. All right, so I'm going to plug it into my Mac here. Ooh, look at that. I'll show you the display here in a second. And it's not a touch display, so it's just like a regular kind of old thing here. But let me turn off my overhead lights, and you can see what it looks like. This is actually better than I expected it was going to be. So we'll turn off my overhead lights. So you can kind of see it. It's a little hard to see right now, but it does have an RGB light in the background. We'll download the software and see what it looks like when I get that installed, see if we can brighten up those keys a bit. But it's, it's a compact design. You've got your number pad, though, and they kind of squished everything over here. And there's a volume knob and a play button. And it works on the Mac, so when I pushed it on the Mac here, it just did everything. So that's neat. And then, oops, let me get in on the display here. So I'll show you the. Isn't that cool? So right now it's got no data coming into it from the computer, but we're going to download the app here and see what that looks like. Bob says, my 105-year-old grand... Yeah, I bet you he could. I sure can. I like it. I really like it so far. Unfortunately, though, there's no way to angle the screen, although it is just USB. It's a USB-C port on there. So you probably could like hook an extension cable up and get that going. The round thing is the volume knob thing here, right there. I can't get it focused. I'll show it to you in a minute. But that does work with the Mac. So as I twist it, see if I can get a better shot with my overhead camera here. My camera positions are kind of fixed, so it's a little hard, but there's a little knob here. And so when you turn the knob, here, I'll just show you here. So when you turn the knob, my hands are a mess. And then you can push it down. So if I push it down, it starts playing. And it doesn't go up or down, it just goes, oh wait, it does actually. If you push it up, does it go? No, it doesn't push up. But I can go all the way down to mute and kind of work it that way. So it's pretty cool. Bobby Warren is here. Good to see you. Yeah, no speaker though, so it's just controlling the Mac, on my Mac at least right now, it's controlling the Mac's speaker here. Jiro uses a Unicomp keyboard, as retro as you can get. They licensed, oh yeah, buckling springs. It's got that really hard click to it, right? And Rado says that they bought the tooling outright. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, it was funny, a number of years ago, yeah, it defaults to 0. A number of years ago, I mean, I'm talking like decade or more ago, I really wanted a mechanical keyboard. I couldn't find one anywhere. And I guess like there was like some warehouse full of key switches that some company bought, and they were just selling like what was left. And suddenly like it became back in vogue there. It's pretty cool. Hey, Sam Lazar is here from Down Under. Good to see you. And Commodore doesn't like the rainbow puke. Yeah, we'll see if we can turn down the rainbow on it here. And Bobby, if you check out last night's video, or Monday night's video, I gave an update. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. But I think we're going to get her off of Comcast soon. All right, so I'm going to download the program that apparently works with the clock, or with the display. But I'm going to be reluctant if it requires like some installation on my Mac here, because I don't like running things that sit resident. So I want to be able to like just load an app and leave it open or close it. Let's see. All right, so there's a DMG file that I'm getting here. All right, so it looks like so far so good. It's just a regular old app. So I'm gonna add my Mac to the mix here so we can see what I'm working with here. So if I go over to my Mac, as you can see, it's just an app. So we're going to copy that to our applications folder. And hopefully they are a registered user or registered developer for Apple. We shall see. All right, so Epomaker. All right. This is a Chinese company that makes this. Okay, so the driver has loaded. And I'm going to just redo my display here. And we're also, this is pretty cool. All right, so now I'm going to go and just give you a view of what I am seeing here. And what I'm also going to do is throw the chat into that as well. And if you're on Amazon watching, you can leave me a chat, and I will talk to you. All right. Oops. Backdrop. Oops. No, not that. Backdrop. I have a little backdrop thing that keeps everything good here. Okay. So here is the app. And it looks like I don't know, oh, function layer, is that what this is? Let's see. So it looks like I can control the color, I think, of each key. Maybe not. So I can set macros on each key. Lighting, here we go. So why would Epomaker like to record this computer's screen and audio? I am not comfortable. Seriously. No way. What in the world would they need that for? That doesn't make any sense to me. So we have, of course, all the usual effects here, or we can just have it be always on. Now, what I don't see, though, is a way to control individual keys. And I wonder if it somehow oddly needs that capability. Although, as I'm changing the keys here, it looks as though I don't have a way to control the color on each individual key. I think that's what we're dealing with here. Macros, sketchpad mode. So this is for the display, I think. So let's see if this will show on to the... Oh, it's cool. It's got like different frames you can do too. All right, how do I pass that over to the display is the question. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see it on my display yet. So you can see right now it's just showing this. But I'll tell you what, the fact that it's asking for like screen control is pretty darn sketchy. Yeah, I'll put my bank account in. Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like the Linux people are out of luck on this one. So yeah, check out the video I just did. I went over what I think I'm going to be doing with my mom's house with the cord cutting. So we got a game plan there. So what I'm not seeing here is like how to, so I can see I can draw something on here, but I'm not seeing how to get this over to the thing. And it could be that this thing wants that control that it's asking for, but I'm not comfortable giving it that. So I might grab the Windows software and see if that behaves differently. But it's weird, like it's, yeah, I don't know what this is doing. So I'm going to quit this and go back in, and let's see what happens when I reload it. And it could be the keyboard might need a firmware update. I don't know. Because here I can set individual key options, but I can't. So I can have each key do something different. But if I go to lighting, I really have no control here. And I'm just, like I said, I'm so reluctant to give them any control over. I don't know why it needs that. All right, so I'm going to write my name in here. Yeah, I'm not seeing how to control this display unless it's, maybe it's supposed to show up in that section right there. This might do it. Let's see. That did something. I just hit the refresh button. And let's see if it sends the image over. Nope. Yeah, they don't give you much here to work with. And half these things that I click on don't work either. So I would say the Mac software is probably not very good. So that's a bummer. The keyboard feels great, but the Mac software, not so good. So it just so happens that I have a Windows computer that we can slide in here. And we can see if it prefers Windows. So I'm just going to disconnect Mr. Mac here from my display. And hopefully that is the end of that. Let me just double check my... I'm always reluctant to like install this software because I don't, like I said, like it was asking for direct control over the screen. Yeah, no thank you. And now I'm seeing some weird stuff on here. Hang on a second. ZooG service. Hopefully that's not... Let's see here. No, it's an Apple thing. Okay. All right, so I just want to make sure that this keyboard has... I'm going to remove the software. I'm hoping it's going to just take everything out. Because who the heck knows what this thing's going to do. All right, so I'm just going to eliminate the software completely because like I said, I am not comfortable. So the good thing is I have this Windows laptop that I use for demonstration purposes. So we're gonna fire this thing up, and we'll see if we can get it to do something. So let me turn it on here. I'm going to pop my Mac out for a second. And we'll plug in my cable here. I may need to charge this laptop a bit. It was a little dead when we got it hooked up here. All right, so, and I got to rearrange a couple things on the desk too. All right, so let's try this again. And let's see what we end up with here. So now I'm going to flick the switch over to Windows. And what I'm going to do is reposition the camera a little bit so we can get a better view of that weird display there. All right, so now we got that going. And I'm going to add the NDI display back in again. Hopefully that will come up. Okay. I think we're good. So I was using this computer just the other day, as a matter of fact, for... Yeah, it's not working there. All right, so let's do it this way. Bear with me for 1 second, folks. We'll get this thing up and running here momentarily. And we're going to have to install the software on the Windows computer like we did before. And we'll see what happens. So, yeah, I was... Zena says, "Does that retro look meant?" I think so. This one's got kind of an 80s vibe, to be honest with you. Like it looks more 80s than 90s for me. Because 90s is when you had all those commodity, lousy membrane keyboards that made their way to the marketplace. So this one strikes me more as like 80s, like early 80s industrial is what it kind of feels like. But it's not metal, I don't think. It is plastic. If it was metal, it would definitely have that feel. but the keys are totally silent. Like you can't hear them at all. All right, so let's go and load up my capture app here. All right, so we're ready to go there, and I'm just going to add the Samsung laptop to the mix here. There we go. Of course, my NDI is not cooperating. All I've got is a black screen. So we'll see what I can get this display to do. All right, so let's go over to, I think my NDI froze up. This happens from time to time, so you lose the whole darn thing. Let's try it one more time here. NDI, and we'll go to display 1. And see if it comes up now. I doubt it will. It's all right. All right, so we're going to go to Ecom, what's this called? Epomaker. And we'll grab the driver. But yeah, it's got a cool feel. Like I like the way the keyboard feels. It's got a, I like the cable. I like the way it looks. But I'm not digging the request it has to like spy on everything. And you know what I think I'm going to do here too? Oh, it's already attached. How about that? I've got my little trackball here, which will make, we're going to go super retro here. We're going to use the trackball, and I'll add this to the mix also. So we've got the trackball and the keyboard. This is a Kensington trackball. And this is their Slim Blade. It's just easier for me to operate with it. So we're going to go super 90s here as I get everything set up. Okay. So let's go and grab the software here and see what we can do. So I'm going to go over to, oh, now it's working. So I will show you the downloads section here. So I'm going to software. Here's what's neat about this mouse is that it scrolls when I do this. So check it out. I can go, so as I twist it, it scrolls. Isn't that cool? It's a neat feature. All right, so we're going to go down to drivers, and we're going to look for the Epomaker. They have a lot of keyboards. Look at all these different things they make. And we have the RT100. Nothing is in order, so let's just type in RT100. RT100. I don't know how I found this so quick before, but all right, so we'll download the Windows. So I have a feeling that the Windows software, or the Mac software, is not as good. This is the one that I did before. That's the one I did before. And I just got something on the door. I bought the cheapest smartphone I could find for $30 for a project I'm working on. So I'll have a review of that coming up soon as well. Bob says 1985 computer lab. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's got that look. It just doesn't have the metal. That's the only thing it doesn't have is the metal. But beyond that, it feels pretty legit. All right, so let's go and extract this. And we'll do the setup. And this setup process, I think, is going to be more involved on Windows. That's why we're putting this on a, whatchamacallit, machine, you know, kind of a temporary machine here. And let's see what we get. Yeah, there is no Linux driver for this. So it's Mac and Windows only. So I'll make note of that. And Commodore fan hasn't used the trackball in years. I had not either, and this thing is really cool. Like it's got a good feel. It's got modern accoutrements. It's wireless, as you can see, and it's already paired up over Bluetooth with my PC here, which I used for the review. I don't know what it is taking so long for it to do on the install. The good news is that it hasn't popped up I haven't gotten that message that says it's trying to get administrative privileges, but it's really working at this install, so I'm a little nervous about what it's doing. Tornado thinks Keytronic. My dad had this really cool, like, generic mechanical keyboard that he used for, actually, you know what? He got 20 years out of that keyboard, I think. He wouldn't let anyone change his keyboard out at the office because it was like good luck for him. All right, so this thing's like hung up. I'm gonna let it keep going here, but it's like, it's just hanging. Check it out. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Ugh. So it just dropped this into the taskbar here. And it's all in Chinese. So I have no idea what I just installed. And it wants to communicate over the internet. I don't know why a keyboard needs that. I'm not going to let it do that. It's asking for too much stuff. It really is. All right, so this is pretty much the same experience that I had on the Mac. I'm not getting my information sent to the keyboard. So it's still just saying 0% on everything. Let me disconnect it. All right, so that just turned it off. So there's a switch on here to switch between the wireless and the wired modes. I'm thinking that might be the case from Eric. I might need a firmware update. So I'm going to check on that. But I'm a little nervous about this thing, to be quite honest. Your driver is not the latest version. That's what I just uploaded or downloaded. So it's telling me that it did not have the latest version. Upgraded, succeeded. Here's the firewall again. I'm just not giving it to you. I'm sorry. And the keyboard now is not working. So I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in again. And now we're kind of dead in the water. This is a typical live stream for this channel where things just stop working. Now it could be the hub I'm plugged into may have gone south on us, but I don't think so. Let's see if I can plug it in directly. I've got a USB-C cable around here somewhere. I had one just because I was doing something the other day with one of these cables. I'll use this one. I'm going to plug in directly with the USB-C cable and see if that gives us a better outcome here. All right, so that worked. This looks like the hub didn't like it. So now we're plugged in directly. And that may have been part of our problem, but let's see. So I'm just going to draw something on the thing here again. You can slide the mouse wheel in the canvas, and the canvas will zoom in and out, zoom in. Okay, so what does that do for us here? So I've got my little layout here, and there's got to be an upload function somewhere. So I hit the reset here and see if that gets it going. But I think it might need a firmware update. So Brian says, I got to look into this. Windows 11 Sandbox. Yeah, I think that might be that might be where we go. You know what's funny is that they didn't need all this gimmickry. Like, just make the keyboard. The keyboard feels great. It almost feels like it's detracting from the product here to have all this garbage hanging off of it. All right. So we still do not have an image on the display here. Oh, upload current. Oh, I see. So there we go. So now it's going to upload my current frame. So it is sending it up. And now, okay, there you go. So now it's got my drawing on there. And I can make I guess I can make animations on here and have it like jump around. So let's try that real quick. So I'm going to make like a little ball or something here. So let me go and see if I can erase this and start over. So let's go with, so their language is funny here. So to withdraw is like the undo. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw a little ball down here, and then I'm going to make another frame. So I'm going to hit add one frame. So copy previous pattern. Add one frame, copy previous pattern. Now can I move this? I guess probably not. So we'll do that, and then I'm going to, what's rubber? Oh, rubber is the eraser. Yeah, but it's very, very slow eraser. Gosh, this is awful. We could be here all day. So you know what I'm going to do though? Here, let me try something different. I am going to make so you can actually upload an image. So I can put my logo in there. Hang on a second. Okay. All right, so the problem now is that I want to get back the little logo they had on there before. I like that better. All right, so I'm going to grab my, my logo for the YouTube channel. I'm going to put that on here. Sorry, this is like watching paint dry. Hey, Mark Bollinger is here. It's the TikTok keyboard. Yeah, exactly. Cena enjoys using his trackball. Yeah, this one's cool. I like it a lot. It's very slim and fashionable. I'm digging it. Yeah, I don't know why they need all this access here, so we'll have to see what it's doing. So let me go and grab, I'm going to grab an image off of my NAS device. The problem is I'm fearful that like this software is going to be keylogging me. Is there any way to really know that? I just have a lot of reservation about that. All right. Rightfully so, right? Like it's just not something I'm comfortable with. All right, so I'm going to go over to actually, I've got it on here, so I'm just going to copy this over here real quick. I have like a little GIF of my logo. I just want to put that on there and see how that works. So bear with me for 1 second here, folks. Yes, I'm going to grab. So I'm going to try to upload my logo into that space right there. And I've got one with the white letters because it's a black and white screen here. So let's do export. And I'm going to export it as a GIF. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to grab that file. I'm going to throw it on my desktop here. And I can upload, it cannot be uploaded to GIF. Can I put it in there? Oh, look at that. All right, check this out. So I got my, I'm not sure what that looks like to all of you, but I got my little logo in there. And now I'm going to go and upload current frame. And let's see what we get here. Meatface on Amazon says, do you remember those Logitech keyboards and speakers? Oh, look at that. Hey, that's pretty cool. That had a screen in. I think they used a Windows standard where things could have... Yeah, I think there was something like that from Logitech. And then also you've got this, the Stream Deck, not to be confused with the Steam Deck that does something similar. So that's pretty cool. We got that in there. But I am not getting my system information to show up on here. And clearly this thing is looking to phone home because it's asking for that firewall access. Okay, so I did just check the firmware, and the firmware on the keyboard is set to where it is. Yeah, ET phone home. Or CCP phone home, right? Yeah, I've been following a lot of this. You know, what's happening with that is, you know, they think they're signing up for a sponsorship, and when the contract comes through, they open the document, and that's what they've been getting hit with. I get those emails every day, believe it or not. Yeah, so it doesn't look like you can control the individual key lighting. It's one or not. It's all or nothing. And what I haven't figured out how to do is get it to I'm still looking at some color changes here. So, all right, I did get it to light up all green, so that's some progress there. But what I'm not able to get out of it right now is the system temperature and CPU. So the display feels kind of gimmicky to me. I don't know if there's any real value to it. I mean, we did get my logo in there, which is kind of neat, but I mean, is it worth running this sketchy software? I don't know. Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't. I think they felt like the screen would be a fun little accessory, but it's you know, I don't know. And I will have to now like severely go through what's on my Mac here to see what, I mean, I can't imagine, who knows. Yeah, I may install like little snitch on my Mac and see if there's anything phoning out to China. But the good news is I don't type passwords in by hand anymore because everything is on my Bitwarden thing. Yeah, so I mean, it's cool. It looks neat. It's got a nice OLED display, but it's not telling me anything useful here, right? Like, what's the point of it? I can't seem to figure out. I'm looking back at those instructions that we looked at earlier. Okay, so here's the, oh, I see. Okay, so this is the, I should have read the instructions here. CPU progress display. Open the RT100 driver, click on Sketchpad menu, click Upload File, and scroll down to System Information, and then click Upload. How to choose the background image for the smart screen, which is, we figured that out already. So that we were able to do. All right, so let's try this. So we go over to Sketchpad mode, and then we go to Upload File. Oh, geez, look at this one. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hang on. I got to zoom in on this for you. Yeah, like, do you need this that bad? Okay, so here it is. Talk about security. Hang on. All right, you ready? They want you to run it as an administrator after exiting the program to obtain system temperature. So basically, they want to put in like a little resident service. And that didn't seem to do anything, so I'm still showing. Oh, there you go. CPU 3%. It does not. It's not getting the temperature though. Maybe the laptop doesn't have that information. And if I move this around, yeah, so that's starting to get the CPU up there. But if I exit the software, what happens? So let's see what happens when we exit the software. Oh my, what? Yeah. It's got a bunch of arrows on there. What the heck was that? This might become one of those, jeez. It's a good thing I don't have any passwords on this computer. This is kind of like my virtual machine in that it doesn't have anything of importance on there, I don't think. Wow. All right, so I just exited that. The display is still active. Now what happens if we disconnect the keyboard? And we plug it back in here again. Will it retain the picture? Oh, it does. Okay, so it does retain the picture. And it looks like nothing is running on the computer here, but I think I'm going to go in. I think I may run the Microsoft malicious software removal tool just to see what. I don't see anything fishy on my task list here, but who the heck knows, right? So let me run that. I am going to type on it though. Let's see how this works out. So we'll go in. Oh, almost knocked it off the desk here. So let me type this in real quick. So go to google.com. I really like the way, I hate to say it, I like the keyboard, but I don't like, sending all my data to a foreign intelligence agency, which is what I feel like I'm doing right now. What was I searching for? What did I set out to do here? I was about to search for something. So this is how I'm getting old. Yeah, Rado makes a good point here. You could almost certainly do it better yourself, I think. Microsoft malicious. The spacebar is terrible. Yeah, there's no travel to the spacebar, which is weird. Maybe I got to pull it out and see if there's something wrong with it. Yeah, this one started out strong, guys and gals, but I'm feeling a little uneasy about this whole thing. All right, so I'm going to download the Microsoft malicious software removal tool just to make sure that this thing didn't install some crazy stuff on here. Yeah, I just grabbed the most recent version on Microsoft here. So let's run a full scan. and we'll see. I'm assuming they keep this up to date, so if this is some well-known malware they're putting on. But the fact that we're that nervous about it is giving me pause, significant pause. Yeah. So let me try to... And if nothing else, it's just poorly written software. But why it needs that level of access is a little scary. So yeah, is it worth the risk to have a cool little display on your keyboard? No. But if I was more of a narcissist, I'd love looking at my name on my keyboard every day. Let me pull this thing out of here and see what's going on with the space bar. Now, I think I'm doing it right now. All right, so this just came out of here. Yeah, this might be all we get out of this keyboard as far as the space bar is concerned. Oh, that's better now. Much better, I think. Yeah, it's you know what? It just wasn't seated properly. There was a piece of foam that had popped up, so now it's much better. So a little quality control issue there as well. So Zora says that this keyboard layout reminds him of the Royal Kludge RK98. That one also has some sketchy software you need to download from Google Drive. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I don't know about this one. I got to think about this. The good news is it hasn't found anything on my scan here. It's going. So I'm going to say it's probably fine, but I'm just nervous that I installed that software on the Mac. I don't think it didn't ask me for my password on the Mac either, which means that it likely is not running something resident. But I'm going to probably need to find something on the Mac here to make sure that we don't have some weird thing running in there too. Login items. Let me check and make sure it doesn't do like a login item. Yeah, we're good on the login items. No, not at all. And even odder is that, like, you're not even getting that much information, like your temperature and your CPU, like, big deal, right? I could pull that up on the screen if I wanted to. So they're using a key switch called Sea Salt Silent, and apparently this is something they manufacture themselves. So I like the way the keyboard feels. So they've got that going for them. So I'll pull up Notepad here and see. It's got good travel. It's 2mm travel. The keys have a good feel overall to them. You know, so as I'm typing on it, I mean, who wants to watch a live stream of somebody typing? But you know, this is 2023. Everybody likes their keyboards. Oh yeah, this is much better now. So and that's what I'm kind of digging the. So it's silent like a membrane keyboard, but it's got the feel of a mechanical because that's kind of what it is. So you're not getting any clicky sounds. You know what I mean? Like I just like. I like the feel of it. I hate to say it, but all this other garbage I don't need. I may actually put this in, use some on my desk, and just see how it works. But that software is a non-starter. Yeah, I'm digging it. It makes no noise. Here, listen, I'm gonna type on it here. Ready? That's what it sounds like. And Rado says the keys look really good. Yeah, I think they do look pretty good. I'll pull it. For those of you who missed it, I do have some B-roll footage that I can roll right now of what the key switches look like, if you want to see what that appears as. So let me add a little B-roll here. And so that's what the switch looks like. So it's cool. It feels good, but I would not install the software. And the keys do feel a little slippery. They are smaller. I'll have to compare this to my keyboard that I use on my desk all the time. I've got like this Logitech mechanical keyboard that I've been using for a number of years now. And that one seems to work pretty well for me. Yeah, and I think this is it. I think that's kind of what I would see this working on, is if you've got an office environment where you really want that mechanical depth to the key travel, you'll have it. And yeah, that's I kind of got that vibe from it. So when I first got to college as a freshman in 1994, we still had all those old terminals kicking around, and the keyboard felt a lot like that. And as John points out here, it's pretty retro with the beige. Yeah, it's already like it's got that pre-look to it. So yeah, it's tough. It's just that the software is awful. So, and my spacebar had an issue. So we didn't have as much travel on the spacebar. Now we do. I had to fix it. There was a piece of foam that popped out in shipping that reduced the travel of the spacebar, but now it's good. Yeah, I do like the way it feels. It's nice and solid. It is wireless. Yeah, and I think that's it, Sina, is get rid of the display. Like that, it's unnecessary. The only other problem you run into is that I don't know how you adjust the backlight. Let's take a look and see. So I got the instructions out here. How do we change the backlight color? So function F2 is going to make it brighter. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Oh, it's actually controlling my computer. So which function are we talking about here? You know, by the way, you know what else I just noticed? They didn't license Microsoft with the Windows key, so you have to. It just says Win. Crab Donkey used a teletype in college. That's awesome. Hey, you know what I'm doing later this afternoon? I got my antenna that I'm going to be mounting more permanently for HF. By the way, so I'm going to be looking for some transmissions tonight. So, oh, it's Windows function. That's the screen brightness. Okay, that's what that's talking about. So I'm guessing if you want to control the, maybe this is it, function arrow. Oh, that's it, function arrow. So that's off. Oh, look at that. So the display does give you keyboard status. So see when I turn that down? So that's the brightest setting for the color. And then if I do function, okay, so check, all right, so this is how we do it. So let me turn off the lights again here, see if we can get this to work. I'm going to turn all the lights off. And let's see if we can get some better color here. And this is, in fairness, it's going to be hard to show you the color of this because it is, my cameras just aren't tuned for this kind of thing. So as you can see, with my camera having struggling to focus here, let me get the, zoom in a little bit. This is the brightest it gets. So the backlight is not bright. Actually, this is it. This is the brightest setting right here. So let me go and focus my camera a little better here. And you get a little flickering there just because of the LED interacting with my camera. But as you can see, it's not very bright. I mean, it's a little brighter to my eyes than you're seeing right now, but not much. So it is not very bright. So then, if I hit function delete, where's delete? Up here. What does that do? Okay, that changes some of the modes here. So it looks like you really can't set the color unless you use that awful software. And then if I do function page up, oh, that changes the color, I see. Okay, so that's how you change the color. I kind of like that blue. Uh-oh. I think it's turned off the color. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can keep that blue, but I don't like the turn the so I can turn the effect speed down. Yes, I guess I have to cycle through all of this to get back to where we started. So if I hit function delete, you just got to keep going until you get what you're looking for. Ah, there we go. All right, so now if I do function page up, that turned it off. Oh, there we go. So I can cycle through the different colors. There's a rainbow one here that looked pretty cool. Yeah, so the RGB lighting is not very good. It doesn't come through the keycaps, as you can see. The keycaps are opaque, so it's just on the outside of it that you get the lighting. And it's not very bright. So there you go. All right, let me turn the lights back on. Yeah, I wonder what you see in the display when you do that. So let's go. Yes, it doesn't actually tell you what color you're getting on the display when you switch things around. Yeah, so, you know, I would say the keys themselves are the selling point. And I agree, Rado. Exactly. Yeah, they're completely opaque. And that's it. They are not translucent keycaps. Although I guess you could probably put translucent keycaps on if you wanted to. Yeah, it seems to be the consensus that there's no translucent back. We got a lot of notes on this one. I got to put some notes in here. Hang on a second. So it accomplishes its main purpose, which is to be a keyboard. So it's a good keyboard. It doesn't need all this. You know, it's like one of those things where I had a mentor who once said to me, I was pitching something to somebody. I can't remember exactly what it was, but all I know, this mentor stopped me as I was blabbering away. And he said, Lon, don't oversell it. You got me. You don't need to say anything else. And I think that's kind of what this keyboard is. It's like, it's like they don't feel like they're good enough with just the keys that they've designed. So let's add all this other junk and go from there. So software issues, I think that's front and center. And you don't need the software for to use it. So that's good. You just need the software if you want to do anything different with the display here. Asking for too many permissions on Mac and Windows. Mac was asking, wasn't it asking like to be able to view my screen? I'm gonna have to go back in the live stream and download that later, because that was scary, to be quite honest with you. Windows firewall access for phoning home likely. And it could just be something very benign on the Windows side, like it was looking for internet access to check its firmware. But I don't think it needs firewall. I think the firewall is there to prevent things from coming back in, right? So yeah, so that's a big issue. Display is cute, but not functional. Requires admin access to send data to the display in the background. And we also had the issue of my taskbar filling up with weird stuff. Yeah. And yeah, it's just, yep. Okay, so then backlighting is dim. So the backlight is dim, and the other problem with it, I may just publish this live stream. I think it flowed pretty well. You tell me what you all think. Yeah, so when on the Mac software, I'll have to go back. I'm not recording locally, but it is going to record on YouTube. When the Mac software booted up, the Mac was saying that this software wants the ability to share your screen, which was like really crazy. That's right, so admin access for the backlight's dim, yeah, then no individual key colors. And secondly, the other big issue is that it doesn't have translucent keys. So you really can't see the keycaps anyhow. All right. The good news is so far I did the deep scan on the malicious software removal tool, and we are clean so far. But we're still only halfway there. Living on a prayer. Yeah, so the display is what it is. The other thing though is I believe the display can be taken out, and I think you can plug other things into it. So why don't we try? Oh, it doesn't have a USB-C connector on it. What I'll do is I'll plug my Xbox controller into it. Let's find another USB-C cable. So this might work as a little USB hub, actually. So if we disconnect the display and we plug the Xbox controller in, nope, doesn't work. I thought it might, but it doesn't. It said like USB hub on it, but I guess it's not really a hub. Let me try another cable just to make sure I'm not barking up the wrong tree on that. Now, if you use a Thunderbolt cable and it doesn't work, it's definitely not going to work. Thunderbolt works with everything. Thunderbolt cables do, at least. Yeah. So that does not work as advertised. So it must be tied just to the thing there. So it's a USB-C connection, but not what you think it is. Now, it does have so you have 3 connectivity options. And right now I have the keyboard switched to off, which has it in its wired mode. And there is a Bluetooth functionality on this in addition to the dongle, is what I understand from reading the specifications. So for Bluetooth, I'm just looking through here. So look, yeah, so I don't think you can do, I'm not sure how it differentiates between Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz. Turn on the wireless keyboard mode and long press function. Oh, I see that. So that puts it into the 2.4 gig mode. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe on a slow week I'll do something with it. Yeah, I did check and did not see any other Chinese stuff in there. So I think we're okay. But I did decide we're going to get Chinese food for dinner here. But that comes locally, so that doesn't get shipped direct. Let's see. Oh, there it is. It's back again. Look. But I don't know what those are from. Is that from this? It might be something else. I got to make sure this is really caused by this keyboard. I don't know. Let me try. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Maybe it did it when I was switching the colors around. You know, it's hard to say. What I have found, and this could very well be what's going on here, is that I was just looking on my setting here. There is a Kensington Works icon that is lit up, but I don't. I have discovered. I had this happen to me once before. I bought this. I bought this little mechanical number pad. It's really a nice little number pad. And it had a really weird interaction with Logitech drivers that were on the computer previously. So I wonder if maybe that's what this is. It's colliding maybe with the Kensington driver. But I don't know, like that label, I don't know where that's coming from. So it's hard to say. So let me try this and see if I plug the keyboard back out and in, if that causes this to do this again. Like I said, I just don't know what's triggering that. But you all saw what it looked like before. So I don't know what that is. Oh, that could be a 3.3 volt circuit. That wouldn't be good. My Xbox controller doesn't smell, so I didn't let the smoke out. So hopefully that's okay. I'll plug that controller. Let's plug it in and make sure it still works. I think my hub, USB hub part of this thing, I think just disabled itself. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the Xbox controller is still good. It connected up on my USB hub. So yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm just reluctant. I just don't know if there's much here. What attracted me to this was like, hey, this little display is pretty cool. The keycaps are great. I think that's something this keyboard has going for it. But the software is scary. And I'm not sure there's much here unless you're looking for like that look with, I think, a very nice keycap. The mechanical keycaps are really nice. I just think they overdid it. I think they overdid it. Sea Salt Silent Switch is the name of this. Apparently, Epomaker makes that itself. And you can buy these switches individually for $16 a piece. But they're very highly reviewed. So I think I'll probably review the keyboard. It won't take me long to do it. Yeah, so I think I'll do the review. I'm going to talk about my issues. And then I'm going to use it for a little bit. Maybe before I review it, I'll put it into production without the software for a couple days and see how it does. And I don't know how I'm going to set the clock now because I don't have the software. I'm not getting close to that software again, let me tell you. You know what? Let's get close to that software again. I'm going to load it back up. And I want to see if that's what's causing the weirdness in my taskbar. Oh, it is. So, yep. The software, once I loaded that software up, it started doing those arrows again. It is repeatable. I'm not sure what triggers it, though. So let's change, like, I'm not sure what the heck's going on with this thing. Macro sketchpad mode. I'm just going to click through the software a little bit. It's like those things accumulate while it is sitting here. But the second I loaded that software up again, I had one of those arrows appear next to it. So what do you all think is causing that? It's also strange is that it doesn't seem to be detecting the keyboard any longer. That's working. Maybe it's the keylogger in action here. Yeah, I'm not getting it now. Very strange. So Danielle has never had a keyboard with a rotary control on it. I've encountered a Logitech keyboard that had that. And what it does do, when you rotate it here I'll show you. So I'm turning it, and as you can see, the volume is going up and down. And if I push it in, it'll play something. And I guess with the software, I could configure that dial to do something different. So I know on the Logitech keyboards, you can do some cool stuff with like, oh, there, that arrow is back again. Okay, so check it out. I'm going to record some B-roll here. Let me get in on that. I wonder, oh, I bet you it's when I turn the dial. I bet you that's what it is. Hang on, I'm going to make a virtual input here. Oop. And let's go over to the corner. It just disappeared. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn that dial a few times. I bet you it's going to start accumulating again. Okay, so now I'm going to go record. Let's go down to the corner there. There it is. See it? It's like a little arrow, and if I hit it, it goes away. Like if I just mouse over it, it disappears. So let's see if we can replicate that. I'm just trying to figure out like what causes it to pop up in there. Very bizarre. I have no idea. Yeah, it could be that the keyboard is triggering something else, and I've seen that happen there. But, and that was, with that mechanical thing I had, it was definitely doing that before. So, yeah, I'm curious. It definitely didn't start until, like, I would have noticed that before on this computer. This computer gets used a lot for demonstration purposes like this. And I totally would have noticed that in the past. So, yeah, there you go. All right, well, I got to get tonight's video ready to upload. And we'll be back. I'll probably do something with this, maybe a quick one. Because I think people should know, like, if you're looking, I think they have a version of this without the screen, and I would probably recommend that because it does feel really good. And I would say that you can get probably a similar keyboard without all the bells and whistles for less money, right? They've got a bunch of different choices. Looks like most of this particular model always comes with the display. I wish I could figure out how I triggered that warning to pop up. Maybe if it stays on long enough, it just accumulates. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's actually hit the play button here and see if that does anything. I'm just curious what triggers it. That's my whole intention here. I don't know. Isn't that weird though? Especially when we oh, there it is again. Wait, I got a label here. Quick share, no one. Quick share. What the heck is that? Is that a Samsung thing? Quick share is a device-to-device sharing feature. Ah, okay, so this is what it is. That icon is something called Quick Share. So it is a collision. A device-to-device sharing feature that allows you to quickly and easily transfer content saved on your Galaxy device, which is what this is, to people who nearby have Samsung Galaxy devices. That's what's... So somehow this keyboard is triggering Samsung Quick Share. That's what that is. Okay, so, you know, you can't make this stuff up. We'll have to see what it is. So Matt K wants to know, yeah, so Matt K, this is a keyboard with a screen. And, I mean, it's neat. It's got like a little OLED here, and I was able to put my YouTube channel logo on there. But it wants access to things that I'm not comfortable giving to it. And you could do animations on there, so maybe I'll try to find a little animation I can throw into it. Let me go over to the sketchpad mode here. The software is not very intuitive. And if I hit upload here, this is going to send my CPU data to, so you see now it's giving me like a CPU report. But if you want it to like, if you want it to run constantly in the background, you have to give it administrative privileges. So that was my reluctance there. Yeah, the software is not very good at all. But what I can also do here, so I drew like a little line here, and I can upload that to the screen. And change that out. So there you go. And you can animate it, but you know, like I'm not that talented. So this is about as good as you're going to get with me. But what I can do, if I go and, let's see, sketchpad frame, and withdraw is undo. And what I can do is grab like a GIF here and just drag it in. And then I can upload file. So I'll show you this here. So if I go in, that's different upload. Oops, upload current frame. And then this will change to the logo, which is cool. So I could show that. What I could also do, I wonder how I get my time to work on this stupid thing. Because the other thing it's not doing is putting the right time on. And so I'm guessing this polls on a regular basis. And I just don't know how to get the time over to it. Let's take a look at those instructions again. Time adjustment. Click on the RT100 driver, sketchpad mode. Oh, wait, here we go. Adjust screen time. So I'm going to click on adjust screen time right here. Ah, now we got it. Now we got it. So I'm a little less nervous about this on the Windows side now that I know what this is. Yes, it will do animated GIFs. So let's think about, let me do a quick GIF. I'll do a quick search of Jiffy. And Rado says, yeah, I should check the USB ID. That might be what's causing it too, right? Here, let me go to Jiffy real quick, and we will see if we can upload like a little animation of something. Let's look at like, oh yeah, this one will be cool. This is going to be cool. I'm going to surprise you all with this one. This looks real. This is going to be, if this works, this is going to be freaking cool. Hang on a second. So let's go click on this and save. How do I get the image out of this thing? Favorite, share, embed. Access. Oh, I want that one. Hang on a second. How do I get this? Ah, save image as. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to save this to my desktop. Okay. This is going to be cool. Let me see if I can get this to work here. All right. Oh, yeah. It's going to be cool. Okay, so let's see if this, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but let me clear this frame. Here, I'm going to surprise you all with it, but I'll show you what it looks like here. So we can go ahead and just clear current frame. Oh, yeah, it does it. It does it. Okay, so here we go. So now I'm going to go to upload. And we're going to go to all right, so now it is uploading. Now let's see what we get here. Yeah, you're right. The time is still not correct, but you know what? It's correct to this machine because for some reason it's on Pacific time. I didn't realize that. There you go. Look at that. It's like a Star Wars X-Wing targeting computer. That's awesome. Isn't that cool? So, all right. It's gone up a little bit there. So that's cool. Now, what I don't understand, though, is why there's a little speaker icon in here. Hang on a second. All right, so yeah, all right. Yeah, so now I don't understand why it's got like this little speaker icon there. I don't know what that means. That wasn't there before, right? All right, so now that I'm moving the dial, that's moving the speaker icon. I think. It's just glitchy. Yeah, so it moves when I move the dial, but then when I stop moving it, see my hand is not on it, it's like glitching out. So it's going to pop back up again. See that? I wonder if that has something to do with the thing here. So let's try, let me go back here. And how do I get, redo the whole thing? So this has 6 frames. So I guess you got to go through and just like erase the whole thing one by one, huh? Preview frame, or sketchpad frame, that's right. So withdraw, oh, clear current frame, delete current frame. Okay, so delete all those frames and go back to normal. And then we'll just go ahead and clear this one, and then I can put my logo back in. And then if I go, because see it's still doing this, so I have to go in back to upload. It's not the most intuitive process here. And that's system information, which is different. So I got to go over to upload current frame, and that'll put my logo back on. This does not come with blue switches. It comes with their sea salt silent switch. And that's one of the things that I really like about it. It's got like a really good feel, and it doesn't make any noise. So if you're into quiet, it's really quiet. All right. Yeah, so that's some kind of weird Samsung collision. I got to figure what that's all about. But all right. Well, I think we're good for now. And I'm going to go get some stuff ready for tomorrow. But I think this might get us a review later in the week. I think that's what we're going to do. All right. I think we're good. All right, so that's going to do it for now, but I will be back, and we'll see how this thing works. I got to pull out that, that warning I got on the Mac on the recording also, so we'll see what goes on there. The good news is that so far, it does not appear as though there's anything infecting my computer. Yeah, I think that might be it. It's just weird. I didn't see that happening until I plugged the keyboard in. So, interesting. All right. I'm going to take off, but thank you all for helping me figure this thing out. And that's what we do on these live streams. We take it out of the box, set it up, and see what a normal user might experience in the course of everything here. So I will catch you all in the next one. We'll have a review up tonight of a Lenovo laptop. And that will, oh yeah, there's a couple different key switches. And I think they make all the key switches. But I'll be back up tonight, I think probably with a Lenovo, yeah, I'll do the Lenovo tonight. And then we'll have, following that, I will have a review of the Framework Chromebook, which I looked at the other day. And I think a lot of you were on that stream. So that review is done. And it will be up, so today's Wednesday. Maybe I'll put that one up Thursday or Friday. And then I'll throw this one in for the weekend or something. We'll figure it out. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.